The Naismith Moment, a look at hardwood history, culture, and the Canadian game. This week on the Naismith Moment, Montreal's Brookwood elite. There's a really interesting article going around the basketball world the last few days, talking about if NBA guys played in their home cities, like if Kevin Durant played in Washington, D.C., building a roster that way. The interesting thing to me about that article is the fact that San Antonio and Salt Lake City both could not support local hometown teams. Now, I live in Montreal, and despite the fact that we're considered a quote-unquote hockey town, there could actually be 4 guys from my city in the NBA this coming season, despite not having a team yet. Now, those 4 guys are Joel Anthony on the Celtics, Sam Dallenberg, going to be playing for the Knicks, Chris Joseph, if he gets back in the league, and also Khem Birch, who lit it up in Summer League. He just came off from 2 years at UNLV, where he was Defensive Player of the Year, declared for the draft, and then played for Washington Wizards this year in Summer League, as I mentioned. A lot of rebounds, a lot of block shots, a lot of diving on the court. Turned a lot of eyes, and his coach Sam Cassell said some pretty sparkling words, and Sam knows a lot about basketball. He said, if I'm coaching the Washington Wizards this coming fall, Khem Birch is on my roster. So watch out for Khem Birch. And where did Khem come from? That's why I'm here today. We're going to be talking about the AAU program in Montreal called Brookwood Elite. Now, they've been around for a bit over a decade. Grassroots, grown from kind of yes, you'll see vans driving across America, driving across Canada, trying to get these guys respect, trying to get these guys in tournaments, and the team has really evolved into something special. This past spring, they've signed a sponsorship deal with Adidas, and I'm going to tell you a couple of highlights of their past couple of months. They just came back from the Adidas Invitational in Indianapolis, where the under-17 team made it to the Final Four, and the under-14 team won the whole dang thing. Now, also they're going to be going to Adidas Nations tournament, prestigious tournament in Los Angeles as part of Team Canada. And the entire coach of the team will be Joey McKittrick, who I have an interview with in a moment. And 3 of his players will be joining him on the Team Canada roster there. Jordan Aquino, Joseph Chartouni, and Junior Farquhar. A couple other highlights they have coming up this year. Jerome DeRosier will be playing for the cadet team, national team for Canada. And to mention him again, Junior Farquhar, the number one ranked Canadian basketball player in the class of 2018. So this is Brookwood Elite, grassroots at its best, AAU basketball. 2 interviews right here. Rouel Hidalgo, who is a communications officer, as well as the founder, Joey McKittrick. They're the leaders, they're the inspiration, they're the muscle behind this program. A lot of heart, and it's great to see Montreal basketball on the rise. Enjoy.
It's been amazing. I mean, we started off about 9 years ago with just 1 team, and slowly grew into a 2nd team. And last year was our biggest year with, up to date, with 4 teams from U14, 15, 16, 17. And now this year we just added our 13U team. So we've really got like a big, wide range of the grassroots levels covered right now. So,
tell me about the program. It's great to see basketball in our city. You've been doing this for a long time.
Yeah. The program started off as like really small. We had 1 team about 7 years ago. And we just slowly grew, baby steps, increments. I took on a partner, Nelson Osei, and then from there we just really took off. We had a lot of success. It's a really testimonial to the players and the kids, everything that they did helped the program grow. And now we're at 5 teams. Our alumni list of Division I's over 20 kids. And most of our kids don't end up paying for the biggest key to our program is most of our kids don't end up paying for their education, whether it be down south or in Canada, their education is paid for. And that's the ultimate goal of our program.
I grew up in upstate New York, and I actually, about 20 odd years ago, I played in tournaments in Brookwood around Montreal, and for some reason it's slowly now getting a reputation outside of Montreal as a place where basketball players are coming from. I know Bill Wennington, they talk about him, but how much has the game grown in our city in the last few years?
I think it's grown exponentially. I think social media has really helped make the basketball world a lot smaller. And obviously a couple of like the Toronto Raptors have helped whether it be based in Toronto, because it's helping raise the level of basketball. Kids have been able to watch a team consistently, you know, and Vince Carter obviously being there. If you look at the years that Vince Carter started there, the most talented kids in the gym, they're all born in the, we'll call it the Vince Carter era, right? So the slam dunk competition, all that type of stuff, that started, that was like the platform for everybody to kind of realize that not only Montreal, but Canada in general is on the map. Now Montreal's a little bit behind Toronto in that aspect, but I think we're slowly closing the gap, and we're getting there.
So part of the process for you was getting a sponsorship deal with Adidas. What's that meant to you?
It's been huge for our program. You know, just in terms of when you're able to establish yourself with a brand, right away it just adds legitimacy to your program. It means that someone truly believes in your program, is willing to finance you and give you gear to participate in their events. So it's kind of, you know, we've always been really good, and we should have probably had a shoe deal a lot longer ago, but we've always done things the right way, and you know, this is the final like stamp of approval that we've got.
What's your goals for the future for the next few years for the program?
You know,
saying this with a smile on his face.
Yeah, people always ask me that, you know, and I'm just shocked right now in terms of how far we've come and everything we've accomplished and everything like that. To say I have defined goals, I don't. I kind of just, my biggest like dream is eventually that every single one of my players that graduates will either have a Division I scholarship or something that they're extremely happy with. And those relationships that we build carry on forever. You know, I have players in their early 20s that are going on to their careers, and when I see them playing in men's leagues, and you know, they still reminisce about the best summer they ever had was driving around in minivans and playing in AAU tournaments.
For you, is this something that started very young? I think I can see it in your eyes.
Absolutely. Like I was 22 years old, running around the east coast of the United States, driving to Orlando and throwing kids in minivans and trying to win basketball games. So I started really young.
In this country, you kind of have to do it grassroots style, and we're very proud that you're helping grow the game. So be sure to check out Brookwood Elites, and as your program grows, you're going to see your guys playing all over the country, and hopefully at the next level. And I think that's going to continue because, like you said, there's a lot of passion in our city and our country.
Absolutely.
And thank you for doing so much for Brookwood and for Montreal.
Thank you guys. I appreciate what you guys do too. So good luck with everything.